Hello, I am Sue, and I am the sister to Peter, and I'm going to work with you today on civil engineering drafting. And we have a drawing here called From Scratch. I'm going to open it up. This, when I started it, came from a program called Carlson. So we're just going to hit this continue open drawing file. And I didn't bring all of my fonts that we use at our company, so we're just going to say ignore missing SHX files and continue. And because this came from a third-party program, we're going to click this middle selection here called Show Proxy Graphics and say OK. That gets you into the drawing. And what we have here is this purple line represents a parcel boundary, and it is for this whole exercise is for the sale of a property. It goes to something called the closing, and it's a legal document that is needed for exchange of property or transfer of property. And today we're working on a job that's called 157 Fairfield Lane in, I think it's Fairport. Let's open up the file. So we have some support files here in the folder, and in the end, what we're going to get to is
Just pull it over.
okay.
Click on the tab at the top.
Okay.
The black thing. Okay, that might work, but usually you have to pull
this
that
whole thing
over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Then you can pinch that over on that one.
okay. So this is a PDF of the final product, and you can see that purple line now becomes a red line in the plotted version of the file. And we have a lot of information here. It comes from a subdivision, and our lot number in that subdivision is lot number 1, and we have a lot of support files to get to this point. And let me just minimize this. So we have the original subdivision map, which is that's called the Library 145 of maps. On page 89, it's filed in the Monroe County Clerk's Office. And here is our lot 1 that we're working on today. And you can see that's the shape of our boundary. We have some other support files. If we go back to the AutoCAD file, what happens is the servers go out and they go into the field, they go to this house, and they come back and they give me points, and their points are sometimes connected by line work. They generate codes, and like this one is a line that they started the house with. You can see in the back here, I have a fence line that's being generated, and
What's
that
the
line
fence
is
line?
so
Which one is the fence line?
the X's. So this X to me represents a chain link fence, and that's also being told to me by this code. CLF represents chain link fence. This UP code is utility pole, and it brings the program automatically assigns the block and the line types and puts it on the correct layers that we have being used for the drawing. Something that happened here when we came into this drawing is we came up with this geolocation map. This is not the case for this drawing. If it was in a real world location, I could go up here and turn on the aerial, and the actual aerial image of the house, driveway, and surrounding houses would come up. And so that's not the case. So we're just going to go to the home tab here. It's not in a real world location for this example. So we're just going to be using some AutoCAD commands, and one thing I do to make my job easier is I've created this legend or blocks here, and the start is like what I have highlighted here is the thing for labeling the street names, and then we have some other ones like the above ground features, fence types, some labels for porches, stoops, miscellaneous things. And you can see they're different colors, which represents that they're on different layers. So if we go to the layer command, layer properties command, we're using like ex-ag feature is existing above ground feature to me, and this associated thing that goes with it is existing above ground feature text. So anything that's like a stoop or something, I would label it using this layer here, and this block here actually already does that for you, where if I touch that and showed you the properties, you would see that it's already on existing above ground feature text. I need to pause for a second.
So don't hit stop. Go over there, click that arrow, the one to the right, and then hit the.
All right, so something that is going on is that we're seeing this annoying feature, which is showing me I use annotative text in all my drawings, and we can turn this off where you don't see this multiple text sizes. And we're going to come down to the command line.
You can click on this and just pull it over.
Okay. I have this command called selection anno display. You want to at least start typing it in, and you'll get to the part where you'll see this entire line. But you want to say you want to turn that to 0, and the next time I click this, I won't do the multiple versions of that text sizes. It's just a little annoying feature of AutoCAD. All right, so back to where we're going. So this is the parcel boundary. Let's turn the power properties off. Normally my boss gives me this line, and then I'm just in charge of labeling it. And we're gonna, in this case, we're gonna use distances and angles because that old, let's see, where did I get to my unit 6?
Are you looking for the files right now?
Yeah.
Data E.
Okay.
GCC courses, EGR 102.
Yep, unit 6 symbol.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get back to showing this old subdivision map shows using angles and distances. So that's what we're going to make our map say. So what we're going to do is that I guess I would start off by labeling this boundary, and
zoom in on it so that
we can see this part here is the text for the boundary, and it's on a layer called boundary text. And I use a 0.1 text size. So this drawing is already determined to be at 30 scale. So 0.1 times 30 equals 3. And if I did a properties on this, you'll see over here that it's telling you that that height is a paper text size scale 0.1, and the model text height is going to be 3. So one thing that you can do is using a dimension command. Yes, I'm going to make sure that my dim style is set correctly. So I have to go in and check my dim style.
What did you type?
So I typed in DDIM and hit enter. And I'm going to set to my style here that I typically use is called Lantec Anno 0.08 aligned, and I'm going to set current. and say okay. Close. And then we're going to use a regular dimension command. Oh, okay, angular. I want to see what this angle is. So I'm going to touch this, and I'm going to touch this. It says 90 degrees, 0 minutes, and 3 seconds. Really, we're just going to use, I already know that the answer is supposed to be just 90. So we're going to go ahead and use over here to the right, this 90-degree one. I'm just going to slide it over here. I'm turning off the ortho, which is an F8. And I'm just going to put that in the corner like that. I'm going to come over here. I probably know this, but you can check the angle of this. This should also say, if I check touch left, touch the bottom one, this one says 90. So that's the angle that we're reporting over here. So this boundary is interesting in the fact that it does include an arc, which is already, we're keeping it there for you, but we're going to label the length of it. So the other thing we can do is over here is a length command. And I want to kind of put it at the midpoint of this line. So I'm just going to temporarily put it on the line, but then drag it off the line so it's on the interior. I guess I just kind of visually oops. All right. Now you can, this thing is already, you can do a distance command. Or I can explode this polyline. And now everything is a individual lengths. And I can do a properties. And I can see that this distance is 135.00. So you can actually come over here and grab that by copying and pasting. So I'm going to say copy, close this, come over here, and paste. And what's interesting about that is if we went back to our folders, no, I'm getting lost. If we went back to here, you'll see that that matches. There, let me blow up. So that matches our number that's we can see from the old map. And we're just going to continue filling in. Now my computer at work, the Carlson program, does give me things to make that a little bit more automatic. We're going to go with this. I just did an F3 command, which releases the OSNAP. And again, I'm just going to highlight this because now it's separate pieces. I can come over here and see that it's 108.72. I'm just going to grab it by doing a copy. And a paste. In my job, what I try to do is I try not to type things as much as possible. I try using copying and pasting just to cut down on any kind of errors. So like right now, I'm going to copy. So you can go your copy command up here in the ribbon, or I'm always been trained as a typer, so I'm going to go CO and come down here and visually try to pick the middle point. See, I can see the middle point, but if I just touch that line and see the grip line, kind of match it up to that. And again, I'm just going to go to the properties, copy and paste. This line is a little bit more difficult because it's angled. So one thing I can do is issue a copy command, pick from its insertion point. Oh snaps here. So I just
hold the shift key and you right click.
Okay, good. So then we can do an insert from the insert point here, which is the midpoint. I'm going to put it on the midpoint of that and just do a rotate command. Right click, say insertion again. Nope, I picked the wrong one. I'm just trying to do a rotate reference command. So I'm going to click this to the midpoint. Let's say R for reference. And I'm going to pay attention closely to what a computer is asking me. So now it's asking me for the reference angle, and I'm going to pick that midpoint a second time. In the second point, I'm just going to temporarily turn on F8. And then I'm going to pick endpoint. Now I have the angle. There was another way that we could have done that. There's always multiple ways of doing things. This other choice you could have had to do that. Let's just do that again. Like that one over here. See, we got a slightly different angle here. I could have simply just gone in here and listed this angle. And I'm seeing this, we have what's called surveyor units on. So I'm just going to copy that. And if I type that, or if I hit that, oops, I got two things highlighted. If I get that by itself and highlight it, I can come down to the angle where it says rotation, and I can say paste here. And it turned it upside down, but now in this case, I'm just going to rotate it 180 degrees, which gives us the same answer. So that's kind of how you can fake in getting that angle. So we can either like rotate reference or go ahead and list this angle, and you'll be able to turn that to the right thing. Now see, one thing I have to do is I have to go back and check this length. It's saying it's 136.26, so let's not forget to change it. Copy. I just want to leave that foot symbol in the label. So now we got everything labeled with the exception of the distance of this arc. So we want to list that distance of that arc. So if I highlight that arc, I can see that what I'm looking for is this thing called arc length. And I'm just going to copy and paste that. And I think I'm just going to copy and drop it off in the middle of this and paste. Okay, so now you have your boundary totally labeled and you're done with that. And in the end, this all you really did was make it match to these numbers that were on the old map. Oh, we didn't. Now when I went back and I looked at that map, I realized that I forgot to do this angle in the upper right corner, the northeast corner. So we want to make sure that we get that angle also listed in our drawing. So in this case, I'm just going to copy up a placeholder from this 90 degrees and drop it up here. I'm just going to go measure this angle. And again, I'm just zooming in on this boundary line, the purple line, because this is the angle you're trying to figure out. And it says 85, which you can put in here temporarily. And just, I got an extra little symbol in here. You want to get, this is degrees, minutes, and seconds. This one is just set wrong in my angle style, so we want to make sure that we don't grab that last apostrophe. So I'm going to copy that. Oh, it did fail. Going wrong there.
Undo.
Yeah, I see. Copy. Okay. Whatever. Okay, better. So just adjust that down and within your boundary. And obviously, there's always more than one way to do things, but that really got you to the point of what I consider is good drafting for showing it your numbers on your final map. And this is the end of part 1.